Here's the cover plate that locks the screws to the cage. If you notice some specific features on this thing, there is a slot in the center screw, and that is in the vertical position when it's unlocked. And when you lock it, when you use the inserter here to lock it, you turn it quarter turn clockwise, and that slot will then be in the horizontal position, and that's a visual confirmation that you're locked. So this little cam, when locked, the slot should be horizontal with this black laser line at the bottom aspect of the cover plate. So that's your visual confirmation. Other things to notice are at the top of the cover plate, there are these two little wings. And those wings interface with the front of the cage. This is the smallest height, so it's a little bit hard to see. But there are two little holes. See, there's one here, and there's one here. And those are above the outboard screws, in the opposite direction of the outboard screws. It's really hard to see, but in the taller cages it's easier to see. There's a laser line here and a laser line here. So that kind of helps you know where to orient those little ears on the cover plate. But the rule of thumb is they go opposite the direction of your outboard screws. So if your outboard screws are facing in the inferior direction, then your cover plate should be oriented superior. The cage can be inverted, and it's just, again, important to note the direction of the outboard screws. So the reason for that I'll show you here in just a moment. But basically the cover plate comes sterile packaged, so you'll grab it and you'll put it onto the inserter, and it's just a stab and grab inserter. You see that the way the inserter holds it, there's a slot in the inserter that gives it sort of a spring, and that's what puts pressure on the plate and holds it. Underside of the plate, you'll notice you see this gold cam. That is what turns down into the cage and locks the cover plate to the cage. So you get 3 points of locking and fixation. You get your two rabbit ears at the top, and then you get this cam at the bottom that turns down into the cage. And you can see sort of a little slot right there, and that's what the little cover plate turns into. So the way to lock this thing, real simple. See if I can get this to focus. There we go. So you see you've got your outboard screws facing down, so the cover plate really just goes on, and you just kind of approach it at an angle and just slip it up so that those little rabbit ears are up in the holes. So you slip it up and then press it down, and then quarter turn clockwise, and it locks. Very simple. But this is very much a finesse procedure, okay? So quarter turn counterclockwise to unlock it, and then it tips back out. So let's see if I can do this with this phone here so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so the approach again is kind of come up with the cage, with the plate sort of angled to the plate, or to the cage. So you sweep it up into those little holes. Okay, so sweep it up and then just kind of rotate back so that the plate is flat against the face of the cage, and then quarter turn clockwise, and it locks. So definitely this is something that you want to do freehand with the surgeon ahead of the case, and let them kind of feel it and get the touch, because in the OR it's going to be key that they understand what they're feeling, because that makes the difference. So quarter turn counterclockwise, and out it comes. And you can lock it and unlock it multiple times. It doesn't really hurt it. There's a good shot of those two holes you can see. So again, just come at it, slip it up so that you're into the holes, and then drop your hand back so that you're flush against the face. And a lot of surgeons will tend to want to really push down, but you don't have to. You start like this, bring it down flat, and then quarter turn clockwise. And you can see that visually, you can see that the inserter here, this flat piece, is horizontal. This little cutout here is horizontal. There's also a cutout on the handle to show that you're horizontal. So as a rep in the room, you should be able to see from a distance whether the surgeon is horizontal or not. If they're not, then they're not locked. Also, an important thing to note is you do not want to overturn this thing. Some surgeons, they have a tendency to put this thing on at first, and then they want to overturn because they don't know that it's locked. But again, quarter turn till it's horizontal and stop. If you don't feel a click, you're not locked. If when you try to pull this thing off, if you try to disconnect the inserter and the cover plate is still attached, then of course you're not locked. Really what you're looking for is that you cannot see that little foot plate, and you cannot see those little rabbit ears, and that this is horizontal. That's how you know you're locked. And you can grab this and pull on it and pry on it to try to break this thing off of here. The cover plate is nitinol, so with enough jerking around with some sort of instrument, you can probably deform it. But you're not going to see that with the human body. So it's a very, very strong lock, but it's a very much a finesse approach. So to remove it, push the inserter into the slot, and then quarter turn counterclockwise, and then just tip it back and away. So one thing to note is sometimes you can get you'll get one ear on, but not the other, right? So it's important that you get both of those ears up in there. And then the other thing that it's important to note is that the little cam here that you turn, sometimes if you're not flat, you can turn and the cam kind of sticks out like that, see? And you're not locked. So the cam has to be in that little slot. So that's why it's real important that when you load this thing on here, that you come at it, slip this up into the two holes, and then really bring this flat against the face. And then as you turn, you'll see that little slot is filled up with that cam. So again, 3 points of fixation, 1, 2, 3. It holds really well, very, very strong, real easy, but it's very much a finesse procedure. So practice this in fresh air with the surgeon before you ever go into the OR, and you shouldn't have any problems at all.